Whittaker, according to five kingdom system of classification, the living organisms present on the earth were classified under 5 groups. These living organisms were classified or grouped under 5 kingdoms, such as kingdom Monera, kingdom Protista, kingdom Mycota, kingdom Plantae, and kingdom Animalia. R.H. Whittaker placed unicellular prokaryotic organisms under kingdom Monera. He placed unicellular eukaryotic organisms under kingdom Protista. Multicellular eukaryotic organisms except yeast were placed under kingdom Mycota. Yeast also comes under kingdom Mycota, but it is unicellular. Whittaker placed multicellular eukaryotic autotrophic non-motile organisms like plants under kingdom Plantae or Metaphyta and replaced multicellular motile eukaryotic heterotrophic organisms under kingdom Animalia. In this class, let us discuss about kingdom Monera. Kingdom Monera. Kingdom Monera. It includes primitive organisms. Kingdom Monera includes primitive organisms. And the main characteristic feature of organisms which were placed under Monera is having single cell and prokaryotic. That means unicellular prokaryotic organisms were placed under kingdom Monera. Means this kingdom includes kingdom Monera includes unicellular prokaryotic organisms. It includes unicellular prokaryotic organisms. Only prokaryotic organisms were placed under kingdom Monera. All the prokaryotic organisms were placed under kingdom Monera. Hence, it is also called as, kingdom Monera is also called as prokaryota. It is also called as prokaryota, since it includes only unicellular organisms. Since kingdom Monera includes only unicellular prokaryotic organisms, this kingdom is also called as prokaryota. The different types of organisms which comes under kingdom Monera are Archaebacteria means ancient bacteria. Archaebacteria is also called as ancient bacteria. Then Eubacteria or true bacteria. Eubacteria is also called as true bacteria. Then Cyanobacteria or they are also called as blue-green algae. Cyanobacteria or blue-green algae. Mycoplasma. Actinomycetes, Rickettsias, etc. Archaebacteria or ancient bacteria, eubacteria or true bacteria, cyanobacteria or blue-green algae, mycoplasmas, actinomycetes, Rickettsias, etc. comes under kingdom Monera, or these are the organisms which are placed under kingdom Monera. Now let us discuss the salient features of kingdom Monera. Salient features. Salient features means characteristic features, or the organisms which are placed under kingdom Monera shows some peculiar characters. Organisms placed under kingdom Monera exhibits or shows some characters. What are the important characteristic features of organisms comes under kingdom Monera? That is called salient features or characteristic features. Salient features. Salient features of kingdom Monera. Salient features of Monerans. Salient features of kingdom Monera or salient features of Monerans. Monerans means organisms which are placed under kingdom Monera are called as Monerans. So what are the characteristic features or salient features of kingdom Monera? First one, it includes unicellular prokaryotic organisms. You have already studied that in case of prokaryotic organisms, true nucleus is absent. In prokaryotic organisms, true nucleus is absent. That means nuclear envelope is absent. Hence, the genetic material called DNA lies freely, and that is called nucleoid. Right? Here, the important characteristic feature of Monerans is true nucleus is absent. True nucleus is absent. True nucleus is absent means absence of nuclear envelope. In case of prokaryotic cell, nuclear envelope is absent. And DNA lies freely. DNA lies freely means there is no boundary for the DNA. It lies freely. Whereas in eukaryotic cell, in case of eukaryotic cell, nucleus, true nucleus is present. True nucleus means nuclear envelope. Nuclear envelope is present. When inside the nuclear envelope only, the genetic material called DNA is present. DNA is present within the nuclear envelope in case of eukaryotic cells. But kingdom Monera includes prokaryotic cells or organisms having prokaryotic cells. Hence, nuclear envelope is absent. Nuclear envelope is absent. So, DNA lies freely or DNA is present freely. And it is called nucleoid. It is called nucleoid. It is called nucleoid. This is the first salient feature of kingdom Monera. First salient feature of kingdom Monera. Then, it includes prokaryotic cell or the organisms having prokaryotic cells, unicellular prokaryotic organism comes under kingdom Monera. That means another characteristic feature of prokaryotes is absence of membrane-bound cell organelles. Absence of membrane-bound cell organelles such as mitochondria, Golgi apparatus, endoplasmic reticulum, lysosomes, etc. Membrane-bound cell organelles. Membrane-bound cell organelles. Membrane-bound cell organelles like mitochondria, powerhouse of the cell, mitochondria, lysosome, mitochondria, lysosomes, endoplasmic reticulum, ER, endoplasmic reticulum, then Golgi apparatus, etc. Golgi apparatus, etc. are absent. In the cell. Membrane-bound cell organelles like mitochondria, Golgi apparatus, endoplasmic reticulum, lysosomes, etc. are absent in the cell. Then cell wall. In case of plants, cell wall is made up of cellulose. Whereas in case of animals, cell wall is absent. In case of animal cell wall is absent. Whereas in case of plants, cell wall is made up of cellulose. But here, the cell wall of the monerans, especially it includes bacteria. The cell wall of the monerans or cell wall is made up of peptidoglycan. Cell wall is made up of peptidoglycan and polysaccharides. Cell wall is made up of peptidoglycan and polysaccharides other than cellulose. In case of plants, cell wall is made up of cellulose, but here the organisms which comes under kingdom Monera, in such organisms, cell wall is made up of peptidoglycan, this is important, and polysaccharides other than cellulose. Then another characteristic feature of kingdom Monera, reproduction. Reproduction means formation of young ones. Reproduction is the process by which the parent cell gives rise to young ones of similar kind. Reproduction is a process in which parent cell gives rise to young one of similar kind. Reproduction takes place usually by asexual method. It takes place usually by asexual method, such as binary fission, budding, spore formation, etc. Usually, reproduction takes place by asexual method. Asexual method of reproduction means there is no involvement of any sex organs, no formation of gametes. Gametes are not produced in these organisms, and there is no fusion of gametes, no fusion of male and female gametes. Usually they reproduce by asexual method. Asexual method such as binary fission, budding and spore formation. In 10th standard, how do organisms reproduce chapter we have studied. In 10th standard, how do organisms reproduce? In that chapter, we have studied about binary fission, budding and spore formation. Go through this once. Binary fission means splitting of one parental cell into two. Binary fission. Fission means breakdown. Fusion means joining. Remember, it is fission. Fission means breaks down. Single parent cell breaks into two daughter cells. Binary means two. Single parental cell divides into two daughter cells. That is binary fission. Budding means the development of small outgrowth from the body surface of the parent. Budding is nothing but the development of small outgrowth. Like this. Then nucleus divides, it moves. After that, this bud grows in size and slowly this bud separates from the parent like this. Budding. Then spore formation. Spores are produced by the bacteria. These spores are present in the air. When they get the moisture content or in presence of suitable conditions, the spore germinates. Spore germinates in the presence of suitable condition and gives to new organism. Reproduction usually takes place by asexual methods like binary fission, budding, spore formation, etc. But some organisms or some monarchs show primitive sexual reproduction. They show primitive type of, it is not well developed. Sex organs are not well developed. Primitive sexual reproduction. Some organism shows primitive sexual reproduction. This is about reproduction in case of monarchs. Monarchs are the organisms which comes under the kingdom Monera occur as they occur as filamentous. They occur as filamentous or colonial. Filamentous means filament. Say like this. Filament. This is one filament. Or this is one filament. Filamentous. Colony means colony. Group of organisms living together. Colonies means usually bacteria. Some bacteria exist in the colonial form like this. This is colonial. Colonial means group, colony. Filamentous means long thread-like, filamentous. Some organisms exist as filamentous or some may exist as colonial forms. These are the important characteristic features of monerans. Kingdom Monera, or we can also call these organisms as monerans. Organisms which comes under Kingdom Monera are called as monerans. These are the important characteristic features or salient features of Kingdom Monera or monerans. Then this kingdom includes Kingdom Monera includes Archaebacteria. What examples for kingdom Monera, or examples for Monerans? Archaebacteria means ancient bacteria. Ancient means old. Eubacteria means true bacteria. Or Cyanobacteria means blue-green algae. Cyanobacteria are also called as blue-green algae. Then Mycoplasma, etc. Which comes under kingdom Monera. Now let us discuss about bacteria. Bacteria are microscopic organisms. Microscopic means they are very small. Their size always in micrometers. They are very small. Their size within micrometer. That means about 0.5 to 5 micrometer or 2 to 3 micrometer. Like this. Their size always in micrometers, means they are very small. Bacteria. For the first time, Anton von Leeuwenhoek. Now let us discuss about bacteria. For the first time, Anton von Leeuwenhoek observed bacteria. He observed bacteria for first time. Anton von Leeuwenhoek observed bacteria for first time. Remember, Anton von Leeuwenhoek observed bacteria for the first time. Whereas Ehrenberg coined the term bacteria. Ehrenberg coined the term bacteria. The term bacteria was introduced by Ehrenberg. Anton von Leeuwenhoek observed the bacteria for the first time, whereas Ehrenberg, another scientist, he coined the term bacteria for the first time. He introduced the word bacteria for the first time. And these bacteria occur everywhere. They occur everywhere. That means they are present in air, present in water, present in food, present on the body surfaces, everywhere. They are present everywhere. And sometimes they are also exist in extreme habitats. They may also present in extreme habitats. Extreme habitats means usually life will not exist in extreme habitats. Extreme habitats means presence of high temperature, like hot springs or deep oceans, deserts, on ice, polar ice caps, etc. Bacteria occur everywhere. That means normal habitats as well as in extreme habitats. Usually in the extreme habitats, life will not be exist. Human beings cannot live in extreme habitats such as in deep oceans or on hot springs or in deserts. But bacteria can live in such extreme habitats. They occur everywhere. Bacteria occur everywhere, including extreme habitats. And some bacteria can live as parasites. Some bacteria can live as parasites. They may be parasites. Some bacteria may be parasites. Maybe endoparasites or ectoparasites. Endoparasites means the organisms which are present inside the body of another organism. Organisms which are present inside the body of another organism are called as endoparasites. The organisms which are present on the body surface of another organism are called as ectoparasites. Some are endoparasites and some are ectoparasites. The smallest bacteria is Dialister pneumocintus. Dialister pneumocintus is the smallest bacteria. The size of the bacteria always will be in micrometer. That means they are very, very small. They are very, very small. The smallest bacteria is Dialister pneumocintus. Whereas the largest bacteria, Beggiatoia mirabilis. How to write the scientific name of organism? You have already studied the rules of binomial nomenclature. See, here the first letter of the genus should be capital, the first letter of the species should be small, and both the words should be underlined separately. Here, Dialister pneumocintus is the smallest bacteria, whereas the Beggiatoia mirabilis is the largest bacteria. Here, Beggiatoia is the genus name. The first letter should be capital. Mirabilis is the species name. Here, the first letter should be small. Like this, we have to write the scientific name of any organisms. Dialister pneumocintus is the smallest bacteria. Beggiatoia mirabilis is the largest bacteria. And these bacteria are both beneficial as well as harmful to human beings. They may be beneficial or they may be harmful. Means some bacteria are useful in the formation or production of antibiotics, medicines. And some bacteria are helpful in the formation of curd. And some bacteria are harmful. Harmful in the sense they may cause diseases. Some bacteria cause diseases. For example, Clostridium, typhoid fever. Clostridium tetani is the bacteria which causes tetanus. Disease tetanus. Typhoid fever is caused by the bacterium Salmonella typhi. Right? There are some bacteria which are beneficial to human beings and some bacteria are harmful to living organisms. Clear? This is about bacteria. Then the shapes of bacteria. Bacteria exist in four different shapes. Bacteria exist in four different shapes. Four different shapes. Bacteria exist in four different shapes. Or they occur in four different shapes such as cocci. Cocci, plural cocci, singular coccus, means these are spherical shaped bacteria. Spherical shaped bacteria. Spherical shaped bacteria are called as cocci. Spherical shaped means like this. Spherical shaped bacteria. These are called as cocci. These are called as cocci, spherical shape. Example for cocci. Example, staphylococci. Staphylococci or streptococci. Staphylococci or streptococci. Then another one is bacilli. Bacilli, singular bacillus. They are rod-shaped. They are rod-shaped bacteria. Rod, like this. Rod-shaped bacteria are called as bacilli. Spherical-shaped bacteria are called as cocci or coccus. Example, staphylococci or another one is streptococci. Bacilli means rod-shaped bacteria. Rod-shaped bacteria. Example is Clostridium. Clostridium tetani. Clostridium tetani, which causes tetanus. And one more example, Salmonella typhi. Clostridium tetani and another one is Salmonella typhi. The third one is Spirillum. Spirillum, or these are spiral-shaped bacteria. Spirillum means they are spiral-shaped bacteria like this. Spiral-shaped bacteria are called as spirillum. Spiral-shaped bacteria. They are very small, minute structures. Example for spiral-shaped bacteria is Treponema. Treponema pallidum. Treponema pallidum is the spiral-shaped bacteria. Treponema pallidum is the bacteria which causes the disease syphilis. It causes syphilis disease. In 10th standard you have studied. Treponema pallidum causes syphilis. Then one more type of bacteria is Vibrium or Vibrio. Means Vibrio or Vibrium means comma-shaped bacteria. These are comma-shaped. Like this. Comma-shaped bacteria are called as Vibrium. Example, Vibrio cholerae. Vibrio cholerae. Vibrio cholerae is the comma-shaped bacterium which causes cholera. Vibrio cholerae is the bacteria which causes cholera. It is comma-shaped bacteria. These are the four different types of bacteria based on their shape. Bacteria exist in these four shapes such as cocci, bacilli, spirillum and vibrium. Name the different types of bacteria based on their shapes. Means they are right, cocci, bacilli, spirillum and vibrium or vibrio. These bacteria may be autotrophic. Bacteria may be autotrophic or heterotrophic. Bacteria may be autotrophic or heterotrophic. Autotrophic means they can prepare their own food. Autotrophic or heterotrophic. Autotrophs means organisms which are able to prepare their own food, right? And in their autotrophic forms there are two types. Means maybe photosynthetic autotrophs or chemosynthetic autotrophs. Bacteria may be photosynthetic autotrophs or chemosynthetic autotrophs. Photosynthetic autotrophs means bacteria which are able to prepare their own food by the process called photosynthesis. Photosynthetic autotrophs means the bacteria which are able to prepare their own food by the process called photosynthesis. You have studied about photosynthesis, like using inorganic substances such as carbon dioxide, water, and in the presence of sunlight and chlorophyll pigment. In the presence of sunlight and chlorophyll pigment, using carbon dioxide and water, these photosynthetic autotrophs can prepare their own food. And there are some bacteria, they are chemosynthetic autotrophs. Chemosynthetic autotrophs means they oxidize. Chemosynthetic autotrophs means they oxidize some inorganic substances. Inorganic substances such as nitrates, nitrites, and ammonia. The energy which is released during the oxidation of these compounds are used for the ATP production and use released energy. They oxidize nitrates, nitrites and ammonia, and after that they use this released energy for ATP production. ATP means adenosine triphosphate. ATP or adenosine triphosphate. It is the energy currency of the cell. ATP is the energy currency of the cell. Adenosine triphosphate. Chemosynthetic autotrophs are the organisms which oxidize the inorganic substances like nitrates, nitrites and ammonia and use the released energy for ATP production. Photosynthetic autotrophs means these are the organisms which are able to prepare their own food by the process called photosynthesis. And some bacteria are heterotrophic. Heterotrophic means they are always dependent on other organisms for food. Means some bacteria may be parasites. Parasites means organisms which are dependent on another living organism for food and shelter. Parasites always dependent on another living organism for food and shelter. Another type is saprophytes. Means these are the bacteria which are dependent on dead and decaying organic matter. Bacteria which are dependent on dead and decaying organic matter are called as heterotrophs, particularly saprophytic bacteria. Bacteria which are dependent on another living organism for food are called as parasites. Bacteria may be autotrophic or heterotrophic. This is about few characteristic features of bacteria. Thank you.